Remick might have been the bad guy in Sinners, but was he the villain? Hi guys, my name's Barry and welcome back to the channel. I got out of the cinema maybe 3 or 4 days ago now from seeing Sinners, and it's the only thing I can think about. I listen to the music from the film every day. I just keep trying to dissect the film every day as well. The film has got more layers than an onion, no more so than the villain, or should I say the villain in the movie, Remmick, played by Jack O'Connell. On face value, yes, he is the bad guy, he is the villain of the movie, but after the film is finished, you still think about it and say to yourself, is he actually the villain? And in my opinion, no, he's not. We first see Remmick when there's no backstory for him. We see him smoking in the sun and he gets to this little cottage and he tries to seek refuge because there's people after him. We think at this point he's the bad guy and there's people trying to hunt him down because he's a vampire. But the people he bumps into straight away, before we kind of know it, straight away he sees them as KKK members. So ultimately in real life, those are the real bad guys. He notices that straight away and he takes advantage of that. In this movie, as a vampire, as soon as you kill someone or at least turn them into a vampire, you share their thoughts and their past with them. So when he kills these two people, he understands what they're trying to do. Smoke and Stack, played by Michael B. Jordan, they buy this place that looks like an old slaughterhouse and they want to make it the juke joint, the pub that they want their friends and family to go to. But this KKK group are going to kill them. So with Remmick killing or turning these two people into vampires, he understands and knows what their plans are for the juke joint, and it's not good. Remmick then takes these people to the juke joint after they become vampires, and he even warns them about what the purpose of the juke joint is, why the place has been sold to these people specifically. So he lets them know this white guy at the beginning of the movie has bad intentions for you and he's going to kill you. He thinks they don't stand a chance, so he offers them a way out. He says to them, I'll turn you all into vampires. We can all share this love together. I don't know if you noticed this in the movie. It's a kind of blink and you'll miss it moment, but we find out that Remmick is an Irish immigrant. Now, 1930s Mississippi don't treat Irish immigrants very well. At that time, they treated them just like black people, and in fact, they called them Black Irish. They didn't get good jobs, they didn't get good pay, they were basically third-class citizens. So even before being turned into a vampire, if he was turned into a vampire back in Mississippi, he had that connection to the black community because they were treated almost the same. So when you put vampires aside, Irish immigrants at the time in the 1930s Mississippi, they were victims of colonialism and oppression. So if we look at the backstory in that way, we already see that Remmick was a victim in the past. Whether he was a bad guy in the past or not remains to be seen, but his family as well were killed by vampire hunters. It could be at a point he wanted just to live a normal life as much as he could as a vampire with his family, but there was always people after him. This is where it gets really interesting because Remmick hears Sammy's music and he thinks Sammy's music is so powerful that it can connect him to his loved ones, specifically his wife and kids. So although it's a bad thing he's going to do to Sammy and whoever's with Sammy, he's doing it for the love of his family, if that makes sense. He believes Sammy's musical talent has the capabilities to connect the living to the dead. I think this is why the ending of the movie is so powerful as well, because it looks like Remmick is the leader and whatever he does and says goes with the other vampires, but as you can clearly see, the vampires live on even to the 90s without the need for Remmick, because Remmick's main purpose was to connect to his loved ones. Something that I love about this as well, and Ryan Coogler, the director, doesn't hit us over the head with it. Obviously it deals with racism in the movie, but it is racism in the 1930s. Things have obviously changed since then, but if we go back to the 1930s, when you look at these vampires with the supernatural abilities, they're more of a community, they're more of a one. You know, whenever one of them gets hurt, they feel it. Whatever one is thinking, the other one knows it. So they're part of this community, almost mirroring the black community back in the 1930s. When you look at the juke joint, in Sinners, it's a place for the black community to go, come together and connect, and that's what they're doing with the vampires in this movie. They want to become vampires or turn people into vampires to connect them and become one. So if Remmick wasn't the villain, if Remmick wasn't the bad guy, then who are the bad guys in the movie? Well, it is pretty obvious by now. It was the KKK. Now, when you put the KKK into a modern film or even a modern horror film, some people will call it woke and they'll just say, you're just doing that, blah, blah, blah. I understand that, but in this movie, it's so precise, but at the same time, it's very subtle, and you have to remember, it's set in the 1930s, so it is a realistic representation of what went on back in the 1930s Mississippi. But when you add in vampires and the vampire lore, it was absolutely stunning. So what are your thoughts on that, guys? What are your thoughts on the symbolism of the vampires in the movie? Was Remmick truly the villain of the story, or was it the KKK who ultimately wanted to kill everybody at the juke joint at the end of the movie? I just see it as Remmick warning them and giving them a way out, saying you can connect with your loved ones. I understand that Michael B. Jordan's character's ex-partner, she didn't want to turn into a vampire because she had someone waiting on her on the other side, her unborn child or her child who died young, and she wanted him to go with her if he dies. And that is a beautiful sentiment. But the rest of them, they had a choice, and I don't think it was the worst choice ever because of what was coming to them at the end of the movie. But anyway, guys, what are your thoughts and opinions? Leave them down below. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you soon.
Meeting adjourned.
I'll be right back.
What are you waiting for, huh?
Coming to get you, Barbara.
Ever played Skin the Cat?
Someone's in the back!